of Michael McKee, do we really know where this thing is going to hit within Florida and within the nearer Caribbean?
We don't have a perfect answer, but it does look like it is going to make landfall on Florida or perhaps the East Coast. There's a little bit of a sign that it might drift and go up the East Coast of Florida, but it doesn't matter because the storm is so big. It covers the entire state of Florida. It's wider than the peninsula.
Help us was so big because, you know, Category 5, Category this. Give us scope and scale versus what we know, which is the last big Florida hurricane and Katrina.
Well, there have only been 3 Category 5 hurricanes to hit the United States. Camille in 1969, the Great Florida hurricane of 1935 before they gave them names, and then Hurricane Andrew in 1992. And David probably will remember Hurricane Andrew. Category 5 hit Miami, basically almost wiped it off the map. 165,000 homes completely destroyed and a tremendous amount of damage.
You were with Bogart and Bacall in the 35 hurricane. Were you in that hotel room?
Yes, I remember it well. I remember it well.
But this is not funny. I mean,
no, this is not
East
funny.
Coast, West Coast.
This is not funny. Storm surge, Florida's a low state, drainage is an issue. We saw, what, 1 trillion gallons of water fell with Harvey. We don't know how much water. This is not funny. Yeah. This is very serious stuff.
Yeah.
Mike, we've seen already markets bracing for the potential impact of Hurricane Irma, of course, following the reaction we had to Harvey. When you look at the economic impact, there's 2 things to look at, right? You've got the short term, which could be very negative, but then longer term, it could be positive because of the reconstruction.
Yeah, and I brought along a chart that illustrates that. It's a little hard to show because we haven't had a hurricane hit the United States in about 10 years. But if you look at the impact of hurricanes on GDP and you go back to Hurricane Katrina, that's the biggest, most damaging hurricane that we have had. It was $160 billion if you adjust it to today's figures. And you can see it barely shows up, and then there's immediate rebound there as people rebuild. It washes out of the data. Then Superstorm Sandy, we were already in a downslide there, but immediately thereafter you see it pop back up. So the hurricane effect is usually washed out of the economy, the national economy, fairly shortly. Katrina, as I mentioned, the strongest storm. We're still waiting to see where Harvey slots in, but clearly it's going to be up there as either number 2 or perhaps even number 1. Andrew, the one I mentioned, 1992, it's still on that list of the most dangerous, biggest hurricanes ever. I might mention, you wanted some size and scope, Tom. 185 maximum sustained winds, miles an hour maximum sustained winds that Taylor was talking about. The scale doesn't go that high. If it did, this would be a Category 7.